What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 22 Ultimate Team video. It's time for Team of the Week predictions. For week number 8, we're going to go over all of the players that we think could get a Team of the Week card for tomorrow's Team of the Week drop. Remember, that content usually drops somewhere around 2:30, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday afternoons. And if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to go ahead and click that thumbs up. It really helps support the channel, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so you guys are alerted when we drop additional videos. We got another one coming later this afternoon talking about a new promo that should be coming to MUT on Friday. You don't want to miss it. All right, let's talk about Team of the Week predictions. We're going to start, as always, at the quarterback position. And I feel pretty confident that Mike White, the Jets, pulled the upset over the Bengals. Got away with a little bit of a questionable call at the end of the game there, but I still think they kind of earned the win, even with that call being in there. Jets get the big win. Mike White had a big game, 405 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He even caught a touchdown. It was a 2-point conversion, but he had a catch for some points. And one of the main head creators at MUT, or for MUT at EA, is a Jets fan. I feel pretty confident that this guy will be getting a card tomorrow. Probably a lower overall elite, but he'll definitely be getting a card. So next, on to running backs. And you're probably wondering why Deebo Samuel is on your screen. Well, I will explain why. We're going to use this to transition into wide receivers. But for running backs, Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel's teammate for the 49ers, he's not even in the game. I can't find him. I don't think he actually has a MUT card, but he will deserve one for tomorrow's Team of the Week update. He had 137 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. So that's my only prediction for the running backs. And if you guys want to leave your predictions in the comment section, if there's any players or teams that I probably missed in my predictions, definitely let me know down below in the comment section. So let's move on to wide receiver. So I put Deebo Samuel's name up here because he had a really good game. But there was a lot of wide receivers that had solid games, but I don't think they're going to get upgrades because they kind of already have one. So I want to just reel off a list of guys that possibly could get one, but I don't think they will because they've already had upgrades. And we'll start with Deebo Samuel, another fantastic game for him. But he had a Team of the Week card, and not too long ago in week number 4, Cooper Kupp, he had another good game, best wide receiver in the NFL, but he just got a card last week. A.J. Brown, he has an 87 overall flashback. If anybody will get a card, being that they already had one upgrade, it could be A.J. Brown because that flashback, that 87 overall, is so low in overall at this point. Tyler Lockett, he had another big game, but he has a 93 overall LTD. And then we had Amari Cooper, who had a Gridiron Guardians card. So I don't know if he'll get one. And I think CeeDee Lamb had a pretty solid game as well. But he just got a card for Team of the Week a couple weeks ago. So all of those wide receivers were good. The only one that needs an upgrade that had a good season or a good game yesterday in week number 8 was Chris Godwin. And it was a losing effort, so I don't know. We'll have to see, but this one makes the most sense, either him or A.J. Brown. Chris Godwin had 8 catches for 140 yards and 1 touchdown. Not a lot of strong offensive performances in week number 8. A lot of good defensive guys, though. There were a total of 5 players in week number 8 that had 2 sacks. And we're going to be an Eagles homer here. Listen, my team hasn't won much this season, so I'm going to hope and pray that we get Josh Sweat Team of the Week, though we don't need any more defensive ends for Eagles teams. But Josh Sweat was one of those 5 players that got 2 sacks, so I'm going to roll with him. Josh Allen was another one. I got a feeling he's going to get a card. And again, there were 3 other players, but I didn't write down their names. But honestly, I mean, none of those guys could get upgrades because the next 4 names I'm going to go over all had really good performances and kind of top just getting 2 sacks in 1 game. Xavier Woods, former Cowboy, current Viking, going against his old team last night on Sunday Night Football. He had an absolute amazing game. He had 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. He did all that just to lose to his past team, his former team, but a really good game. I think with that stat line, I just don't see how he does not get a Team of the Week card tomorrow. Josh Norman is the next guy. Unfortunately, I can't find any of his cards on the auction house right now, So we'll just have to do with this screen. But his performance yesterday, worthy of a Team of the Week card. He had 1 forced fumble in yesterday's game and 1 interception. Adrian Phillips in a winning effort against the Chargers. Patriots kind of pulled off an upset there. They looked really good yesterday. Adrian Phillips, he had 2 interceptions in yesterday's game, including one of them for a touchdown, and I believe it was kind of like the game-clinching, game-winning pick 6 as well to get the Patriots the W, so look for him to get a Team of the Week card for that performance. And finally, another player with 2 interceptions in 1 game, and because he already has a pretty solid core elite, at least for, when the game came out, it was a really solid card. Not very usable now. I think we see Justin Simmons be a lock for tomorrow. He had 2 interceptions in the win yesterday against Washington, so look for him to get a card. So now, let's move on over to the sets and take a look at the possible heroes, the LTD, and take a stab at who's going to get Player of the Week. Remember, with this format, the week, what will be 8 champions, offense and defense, are players who are no longer in the league that had good week 8s at some point in their career, and there's a lot of good names out there. So we went back and started at 2005. A lot of people have been asking me about a Steve Smith card. Will he get a card this year? Well, in 2005, Steve Smith had 11 catches for 201 yards and 1 touchdown. Maybe he gets the offensive champion. In 2006, Reggie Wayne, 10 catches, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns in 1 game. The crazy thing is, in 2006, he had a really good week 8 game. In 2007, he had another one, and then I think 2009 again. So his name kept popping up. I think that was the best performance out of the 3 that I noticed, but I mean, 3 different week 8s in 3 different years. Reggie Wayne, he probably should get a card based off of one of those. Also in 2006, and this could be a defensive hero, Sean Merriman had 3 sacks in 1 game. Moving on to 2007, this is a pretty impressive performance. Mike Vrabel, who I think played for the Patriots at the time, 3 sacks in 1 game, but he also had 3 forced fumbles. That's pretty impressive. Does anybody know the record for most forced fumbles by 1 player in 1 game? I would have to think 3 is probably the record, maybe 4. In 2009, this would be a great card if they dropped it. Chris Johnson, 228 rushing yards. He had 2 touchdowns in that game. He's always a super fast running back, fun to use in MUT. That would be a cool card. Here's a bit of a homer pick, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that maybe it happens. In 2011, LaShawn Shady McCoy for the Eagles, 185 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Maybe that happens. In 2012, some other options at defense. Defensive champion here. Champion. Thought it was hero. It's champion. Tim Jennings, who I believe played for the Bears at that point. 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown in that game. And then 2013, I think this would be a fan favorite for MUT players as well. D'Angelo Hall, he had 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown. So those are all of our options for the the champions. I keep getting them mixed up. As far as the Player of the Week goes, going back to it, I have to say probably either going to be Justin Simmons or whoever the wide receiver is. I'm going to stick with Justin Simmons. I think he gets Player of the Week there. Could be a pretty good card. He's tall. He's got good defense, good coverage defense there. And then as far as LTDs go, I think there's 2 different options. Remember, the LTD is a current day player, somebody who was actively in the league, who had a good week 8 performance in a prior season, not this season. 2 options. In 2019, Nick Bosa, he had 3 sacks and 1 interception in a game. His highest overall card, I think, is a MUT Superstar card that's an 86, so he could be due for an upgrade. But I think another guy who's been due for an upgrade and everybody was wondering where it was, maybe thought it would happen in the Most Feared promo, is DeAndre Hopkins. In 2017, week number 8, he had 224 receiving yards. I think it was 10 or 11 catches and 1 touchdown. So that's going to be my guess. You guys leave yours down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.